with us. It's been a long fight. It's been a hard fight, but God is good.
Yes, he is.
Early in, to tell you the truth, I never saw this day back in 2020.
Hmm.
I never thought this day would come, but God is good.
Yes, he is.
And I just want to tell everybody thank you for those who marched, those who prayed, most of all the ones who prayed.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you guys.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you. That now Quez, which you know him as Ahmaud, I know him as Quez.
Yes.
He will now rest in peace.
Yes,
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank
You heard it from wherever you heard it from: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Maybe you heard it off of CNN, Fox News, wherever. Like I said in the last video, um, this is a no-brainer right here, and it better have been a no-brainer. Better have been a no-brainer. Ahmaud Arbery. Um, I'm glad about the verdict, and this is what I was talking about earlier. Straight up, that they should have made an example out of Zitterman, because if they didn't make an example out of Zitterman, you know, people probably wouldn't be on edge about this as much anymore. And when I say on as much as anymore, I'm talking about like they people will be. How do I say this? I feel like so many people lives um would probably have been saved if the justice system has done the right thing in the past, but it hasn't. And this is why we have people like the McMichaels and Brian and William Bryan that could just go and do these interviews on social media after they murder a black unarmed man, after they murder someone that literally was just jogging, and they could just go and talk about it and be interviewed. And the lawyers, like, for instance, Brian Williams, the lawyer was like, "Oh well, he doesn't have a a a, a good education background to protect him. To protect him from what? To protect him from the fact that he was a part of murdering someone that was innocent, that had nothing to do with whatever the fuck they was accusing him for." And this is exactly what it is. And I want to thank the justice system for actually doing something right this time. Even though I just feel like at the end of the day, the real answer is that, look, this system is not fit to protect us. And this is why these white people felt emboldened to do what they felt like they could do. They did not at all, I bet you, felt like before this trial that they were going to go to prison. I mean, did you hear what the defense said? She was too busy talking about him wearing cargo shorts and had no socks on, all this stuff, just degrading him, disrespecting him. How does she get away with saying something like that? This is a victory right here. This is a first step. And the next step is getting these guys sentenced. And the next step is also putting in a reform. Look, I'm for revolution. I'm for changing the system. But the first step is reform right now. Reform right now. And this is what we have to do. We have to literally make sure that these stories are always reminded. Make sure these stories are always told. Live to literally just stand in solidarity with the black community, stand in solidarity with everyone that has been murdered from racism, police brutality, so we can fix this. This is a big deal right here. This is victory. This is victory right here. And we need more bigger victories than this. More bigger victories. She's religious, and I'm glad that she felt affirm in her faith. I'm not religious. I I stand with this mother. I stand with all mothers, you know? I stand with all these mothers. And I am and I hear it all the time. And it's just so sad. It really is. It's so sad. And I'm glad that she was able to say that. But the real picture is, the big picture is that there's so much work that we have to do. Kyle Rittenhouse in the same last few days is walking free. Um, like It's just a reminder. It's just a reminder. With a coworker yesterday about this, and they were saying, "Oh, I think these guys are going to get off," you know, and it's sad. It's sad that we automatically expect that. And that what tells you that the system is flawed because we automatically expect that. We wouldn't say, "Oh, these guys are going to get off," if the system was not flawed. I need you to understand that. It's a big issue in this country that's not really addressed on the higher scale of power. They and now we're in your face, and we have to continue to be in your face. We have to protest. You see? You see why we have to protest? I mean, as much as people knew that this case was not going to be like, I mean, a lot of people did tell me though that that they were going to get off. But when you look at the treatment of how the McMichaels was given, even the DA, they weren't arrested from the beginning. I want y'all to know that they probably would have never been arrested. Honestly, you can't tell me that they probably would have never been arrested. They probably would have, you know. The dude was a former cop. They protect their own. They protect their own. The DA literally just let them go without bail. I did a video on this before. So I need y'all to understand how it's important. When people were talking about rioting and protesting, it was protesting that got them arrested. Understand that. They didn't get arrested just off the get-go when they murdered this young man. They wasn't arrested. It was the outrage that got them arrested. Like, I don't know if people remember this. It was the outrage that got them arrested. You hear me? It was the outrage. So, man, that tells you that the system in itself, because they were going to protect this. If this story didn't go viral, this family would not have a feeling of justice at all. This is what's messed up with the system. This is why we fight to change the system. This is why this system has to be downgraded, destroyed, and rebuilt with a new system. Because literally, I need y'all to know this. They would not have had this if we didn't come out and spoke against what was going on. Like this verdict, this whole trial, this whole case would not have happened if we didn't go out and protest and hit the streets when it happened. If we didn't show outrage, if we didn't stand behind this mother, I don't know what would have happened. Don't forget, don't forget that it took time for them to decide to arrest him. It took time for them to decide this. Don't forget. This is a victory, yes, but don't forget the bullshit that this family had to go through. This young man was jogging and he was murdered. And he almost didn't get justice if we didn't protest. This is what I'm saying. If protesting, people say protesting don't work. People say fighting the system don't work. People say all these things. All these things. It does. It may not be as big as what they seem it should be, but it does work. It does work. And that's all. That's literally it's literally just what it is, man. It's literally just what it is. You have to be out in these streets. She even said it herself. Thank you for the protesters. And especially thank you for the prayers. Because this mother probably felt that that there was nothing going to happen for justice for her son. You know? Imagine that. Your child is murdered. And the cops didn't want to do anything about it until their hand was forced. Imagine that. Wow. Justice for Ahmaud Arbery. Black lives matter. Black lives always matter. Black lives will matter. Black lives will always be here. Black lives matter. We need to change this damn system. This is literally one of the most biggest examples of how important it is to change this damn system. Within the same days that these assholes finally be held accountable for what they have done, Rittenhouse is free. That should tell you there's a lot of work we gotta still do. So let's do it. Let's keep going. Keep going.